So you start out with a tingle in your throat or a single sneeze that you know is different, followed by a headache, drowsiness, a runny nose, a little cough. It's official, you caught a virus. Now the question is it the flu caused by this constantly changing influenza virus, or is it a common cold? And yes, there is a difference. When you're hit by the flu, you'll know. It usually causes high fever, wet headaches, sore muscles, and a runny nose. Did you know that influenza virus is responsible for some of the deadliest pandemics in history, including the Spanish flu in 1918 that affected 1/3 of the global population, killing up to 50 million people around the world. In fact, more soldiers in World War I died from the flu than the actual battle. But this is completely different than your usual seasonal flu and your common cold. Let's talk about that for a minute. While they both attack your respiratory tract, the cold tends to stay up in your nose and the upper part of your throat, while the flu can go deeper in your lungs. That's why it's more dangerous in young children, in people over 65, in pregnant women, and people with chronic conditions. So the cold is usually going to give you a very mild set of symptoms, but did you know it's actually one of the leading causes of missed days at work? You can get up to 2 to 3 times a year, but it's more common in winter months, while the flu has a specific season between October and May in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, it may surprise you, but you don't actually catch a cold in the cold. It's more likely to catch it in a closed space where the viruses are constantly going around. Actually, the reason we get more sick in the winter is simply because we stick together in closed spaces. We like to be warm and cozy, and guess what? So does the virus. So the windows are shut and we're more likely to breathe the same air as someone who already has the virus, whether it's a cold or a flu. So that's how the virus enters your body through your airways. So imagine John Doe is sitting on the bus while fighting a viral infection. And here comes and he sneezes before he has time to cover his mouth. So thousands of mini drops with nearly 40,000 tiny little viruses are thrusted through the air, and they can fly up to 6 feet. So also sitting in the bus is unexpected Jane. She's breathing the same air as everybody else in the bus. So the windows are closed, the virus sneaks into her body and starts multiplying and multiplying. Now, what is also interesting is that her symptoms are going to kick in 1 to 3 days after being exposed to the virus. Those first 3 days of coughing and sneezing are the most contagious for others. So by now, Jane has already spread her germs to her husband at her home, and they've both taken their viruses to work. Not only can we spread germs by sneezing or coughing, remember that the virus can also survive on different kinds of surfaces like papers, like desks, or even a doorknob. So you might shake hands with someone or open a door. And if you later touch your eyes or your mouth, that's another way that the virus can enter your body. Did you know that we all touch our faces up to 3 to 5 times every day without even realizing it? So why aren't we sick all the time? Because most of the time our body is strong enough to fight off the infection and neutralize the virus. So generally, a cold will clear up within a week or 10 days. But there's that nagging cough that can linger on for a few more weeks. But in the meantime, another cold virus could be lurking around just around the corner. Now, the flu could last up to 3 weeks, and it's much more aggressive, more headaches, more sore muscles, more congestion, and sometimes a stronger cough. The good news is that it responds well to over-the-counter medications like Tylenol or ibuprofen. Now, antibiotics, on the other hand, treat bacterial infections like pneumonia or strep throat. It won't help the flu or the cold. In fact, they might even do more harm than good. So I bet you want to know how to prevent them. That's going to be in my next video. So click and subscribe so you don't miss it.